inside a terrifying Viking ritual. How enslaved women were selected and offered as sacrifices. The stars stretched infinitely above the small human vessel, Odyssey. Its hull shivered slightly as it passed through a region of space that glimmered with strange, unseen energy. Captain Alara Voss peered at the navigation console, her brow furrowed. "This isn't on any map," she muttered. "The readings, they're off the charts." Her crew of 12 humans, each chosen for skill, courage, or intelligence, exchanged uneasy glances. None spoke aloud, but the tension in the cabin was palpable. They had been sent to investigate a mysterious signal coming from an uncharted system. The message was clear, almost hypnotic in its pattern. "Come, prove yourselves." When they entered orbit around the planet, the view was unlike anything humanity had seen before. Towering crystalline spires shimmered across the surface, catching the light of a nearby binary star. The airless landscape, dotted with strange vegetation that glowed faintly, seemed alive. Yet something about it was deeply unsettling. The signal had not lied. This place was extraordinary and dangerous. "Prepare the landing party," Alara commanded, her voice steady but her hands trembling slightly. She trusted her crew completely. They were the best humanity had to offer. But she had learned long ago that courage alone did not keep people alive in situations like this. The landing pod hissed and rattled as it descended. When the hatch opened, the humans stepped onto ground that radiated a faint heat. Their suits registered high energy levels in the atmosphere, but it was breathable. The planet seemed calm, almost welcoming, but in the silence they could hear their own hearts pounding. From the shadows of the crystalline spires, figures emerged. They were tall, slender, and entirely alien, with skin that shimmered like liquid silver. Their eyes were large, dark, and intelligent. They did not speak, yet the humans could feel their awareness probing their minds. These were the beings responsible for the signal creatures who called themselves the Velyari. One of the aliens moved closer, raising a hand in a gesture that was strangely familiar, almost ceremonial. A low hum filled the air. It resonated deep within the humans' chests, vibrating in sync with their heartbeat. The hum seemed to communicate a single idea: selection. Alara stepped forward. "We are explorers," she said slowly. "We mean no harm." The alien tilted its head as if considering her words, then moved aside. In the distance, a circle had been formed, etched into the crystal floor of the valley. It glowed faintly, pulsing rhythmically. One by one, the aliens guided the humans toward it, not with force but with an unspoken expectation. Inside the circle, holographic symbols projected into the air. They formed patterns, complex and fluid, shifting faster than the human eye could follow. Yet somehow, every crew member could sense meaning in the patterns. Their minds raced, trying to comprehend them. It was not just a test of strength or courage. It was a test of intelligence, creativity, and adaptability. The Velyari's leader, larger than the others and adorned with intricate crystalline ornaments, stepped forward. Its presence was commanding but not aggressive. The humans felt both awe and fear. This was a being who could end their lives instantly, yet it had not. Instead, it had chosen to observe. Then the first challenge appeared. A platform rose from the center of the circle, its surface reflecting the humans' own images. Symbols floated above it, glowing red, blue, and green. Each symbol represented a problem, a puzzle, a task. As Alara watched, she realized that the trials were designed to measure more than intelligence. They measured ingenuity, courage under pressure, and the ability to collaborate. "Team," she whispered, "we have to work together. This isn't just about brains, it's about trust." The crew nodded. Mara, the ship's engineer, stepped onto the platform first. Her task was to manipulate a sequence of energy patterns that resembled musical notes. Each wrong move triggered a small but intense burst of energy, harmless but startling. She concentrated, feeling the rhythm in her mind, and after several tense minutes, the pattern aligned perfectly. The platform hummed and shifted, acknowledging her success. Next, Jin, the biologist, faced a living puzzle, a strange plant-like creature that grew rapidly and shifted its shape to block progress. Jin had to read its subtle movements, anticipate its growth, and guide it into a pattern that mirrored the symbols above. Sweat dripped from his brow, but after a series of careful adjustments, the creature aligned perfectly. The Velyari watched silently, their black eyes reflecting approval. Ilara stepped onto the platform last. Her task was different, a test of leadership. The platform projected holograms of her crew, each facing a hypothetical danger. She had to make split-second decisions, balancing risk and reward, and her choices determined the survival of each hologram. Her heart raced. She felt the weight of every life, real and projected. After a tense few moments, the final hologram aligned, signaling her success. The first part of the ritual ended. The humans stepped back, trembling but triumphant. The Velyari communicated in a series of low hums, expressing what the humans instinctively understood as, "You are worthy for now." Yet, as they descended from the platform, a shadow passed over them. Beyond the circle, deeper into the crystalline valley, they could see structures far larger than their minds could comprehend. Towers stretched into the sky, with doors that seemed to pulse with energy. The Velyari gestured toward them. The next stage awaited, and it promised challenges far beyond what the humans had already faced. Ilara exchanged a glance with her team. There was fear, yes, but also determination. Humanity had been tested in countless ways before, on Earth and in space. And no matter how terrifying the challenge, they had always adapted, always survived, always found a way to triumph. The Velyari began moving again, beckoning the humans to follow. As they stepped forward, the valley seemed to transform around them. Crystalline bridges shifted into place, energy fields pulsed like beating hearts, and the air thrummed with possibility and danger. For the first time, the humans understood the purpose of this ritual, not to destroy them, but to reveal them. To see what humans were capable of when facing the impossible. And humanity, as always, would rise to the occasion. The humans followed the Velyari deeper into the crystalline valley. Each step seemed to echo unnaturally, as if the planet itself was aware of their presence. Light bent strangely around the towering spires, creating illusions of corridors where there were none. The air thrummed with low energy, making their skin tingle, and the faint hum of the Velyari's presence was constant, like a heartbeat of the valley. Ilara's crew moved cautiously. "Stay together," she whispered. "Don't let the illusions fool you." The Velyari did not speak in words, but their gestures guided the humans toward a massive structure at the center of the valley, a labyrinth of shimmering crystal walls stretching as far as the eye could see. The entrance was marked by a circular arch, engraved with symbols similar to those in the first ritual. "This is it," Ilara said, her voice firm. "The real test begins now." As they stepped into the labyrinth, the air shifted. The walls seemed to pulse with light, rearranging themselves slowly. Paths that appeared moments ago vanished, replaced by new corridors. The labyrinth was alive. Every turn presented a new challenge. Optical illusions that forced the humans to rely on instinct, walls that shifted when touched, and corridors that seemed to loop endlessly. Mara, the engineer, led with her scanner, but even technology struggled. The devices misread the walls, showing empty paths where there were solid barriers. The labyrinth wasn't just a physical challenge. It was designed to test perception, intuition, and trust. "Look for patterns," Mara advised. "It's not random." The Velyari wouldn't make it impossible. Jin noticed that the walls pulsed in a sequence, a subtle rhythm. "It's like music," he said. "If we follow the beat, we might find the correct path." They began moving in sync with the rhythm, their steps carefully timed. Slowly, they discovered a method. Each pulse indicated a turn, a pause, or a warning. It was as if the labyrinth was communicating, not to trap them, but to teach them. After hours of careful navigation, they reached a chamber larger than any they had imagined. Crystal spires shot toward the ceiling, reflecting light in dazzling arrays. At the center floated a holographic sphere, rotating slowly, projecting images of distant galaxies, planets, and stars. The Velyari leader appeared, its form towering and majestic. The sphere began to shift, projecting new patterns, symbols that floated in the air, glowing with blue light. The humans realized these were complex logic puzzles, but layered with emotional and ethical decisions. One wrong move would not harm them physically, but it would register with the Velyari. Alara stepped forward. "We can do this," she said, mostly to herself. Each crew member tackled a different aspect of the challenge. Mara manipulated the energy flows, aligning the holographic circuits to stabilize the sphere. Jin interpreted the symbols, finding correlations between galaxies and ancient civilizations, human and alien alike. Alara coordinated, making decisions that balanced risk and reward, simulating outcomes in real time. Hours passed, but the humans worked tirelessly. Even when mistakes were made, they corrected them, learning from every failure. The Velyari observed silently, their presence intense but non-threatening. Every success was acknowledged with subtle changes in the sphere's rotation, a silent approval. At the final stage, the sphere split into multiple smaller spheres, each representing a hypothetical disaster scenario. The humans had to predict outcomes and find solutions quickly, testing their problem-solving and teamwork under pressure. The scenarios were challenging. A planet facing an impending stellar explosion, where rescue required clever use of technology. An alien species trapped under ice, needing precise coordination to survive. A space station on the verge of collapse, where split-second decisions determined life or death. Alara's mind raced as she guided her team. They had no time to overthink. Only instinct, logic, and courage could lead them to success. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the last sphere aligned perfectly. Light cascaded through the chamber, bathing the humans in a warm glow. The labyrinth walls pulsed, then retracted, revealing a massive open space outside. The Velyari's leader hovered above, and the hum of approval resonated deep within the humans' minds. "You have passed the trials of perception and intellect," the presence seemed to say. "You have shown humanity's ingenuity." The humans exhaled, relieved but not exhausted. The challenges had tested them, yes, but more importantly, they had discovered something about themselves, their capacity to adapt, think, and act under impossible conditions. Yet, even in this moment of triumph, a new challenge awaited. Beyond the open chamber lay the trial of courage, a path over a floating expanse of crystal, suspended high above the valley floor. The path was narrow, the crystals sharp, and the void below seemed endless. The hum of the Velyari grew louder, resonating with the humans' own pulses. Alara looked at her team. "We keep moving," she said. "Step by step, trust each other." They advanced, one by one. The floating path reacted to their presence, shifting slightly with every step. Mara's engineering knowledge helped anticipate the movement, while Jin kept an eye on patterns in the light. Every misstep could have been catastrophic, yet every correct step strengthened their resolve. Halfway across, a sudden surge of energy swept through the path, disorienting them. For a moment, fear gripped the humans. The Velyari had not just built puzzles, they had created an environment that tested mental resilience and courage. Alara's voice rang out. "Focus. Remember what we've learned. We are humans, we adapt." With synchronized effort, they pushed through the surge, helping each other across. When the last human reached the other side, the platform solidified under their feet, forming a wide landing zone. The Velyari observed silently, yet there was a subtle sense of pride in their presence. The next chamber awaited, a massive arena where humans would face simulations of physical challenges. Gravity shifts, Artificial storms and moving obstacles were designed to test strength, speed, and endurance. The humans had already proven intellect and courage, but now their bodies would be tested. Alara felt a rush of determination. We've come this far. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Humanity does not falter. The arena's doors opened, and a wave of energy welcomed them. Crystal structures moved, forming obstacles and platforms, testing balance and reflexes. Each human adapted quickly. Jin leaped over shifting platforms, Mara calculated energy flows to find the safest path, and Alara coordinated their movements, ensuring no one fell behind. Time and again, the humans surprised themselves. Each challenge pushed them further than they had imagined they could go. The Velyari's purpose became clearer. They were not merely observers, they were testing the full spectrum of human capability. At the climax of the arena, a massive energy gate appeared, shimmering with impossible light. To pass, the humans had to synchronize perfectly, moving in harmony while anticipating the gate's shifting patterns. Any misstep could reset the challenge. Alara looked at her team, seeing the determination in their eyes. We do this together. 1, 2, 3. They moved as one, reading the patterns, adjusting to the energy flows, and synchronizing their steps. The gate responded, splitting into layers and allowing them to pass. When the humans crossed, the arena dissolved, leaving them in a calm, glowing chamber. The Velyari leader hovered above, the hum now warm and resonant. Approval radiated through the humans' minds, acknowledging not just their success, but their unity, resilience, and ingenuity. Alara exhaled, a rare smile breaking across her face. "We did it," she whispered. But she knew the trials were far from over. Beyond this chamber lay the final stage of the ritual, the test of spirit, where humanity's creativity, empathy, and courage would be measured against the unknown. And for the first time, the humans understood the true purpose of the Velyari ritual. It was not to destroy them, but to reveal the essence of humanity. The chamber was unlike anything the humans had seen before. The walls shimmered in hues of violet and gold, reflecting their own faces back at them in fragments, as if the room itself was alive. A low hum filled the space, deeper and more resonant than any sound they had experienced in the labyrinth or the arena. The Velyari leader hovered above, its eyes gleaming with curiosity and anticipation. Alara stepped forward, feeling a mixture of awe and determination. "This is it," she said quietly to her crew, "the test of spirit. It's not just our minds or bodies, they want to see who we truly are." The floor beneath them began to glow, forming intricate patterns of light. Symbols floated into the air, each one representing an emotion, an idea, or a moral choice. The humans realized immediately. This test would challenge their hearts, their empathy, their creativity, and their ability to act for the greater good. The first challenge appeared in the form of holographic simulations. They were scenarios of beings in need, dilemmas where every decision mattered. One simulation showed a small alien village under threat from a collapsing energy field. The humans had to guide them to safety using only limited resources and quick thinking. Mara took the lead. "We can do this," she said, focusing on the simulation. Her hands moved over the holographic controls, rerouting energy flows to stabilize the field. Jin analyzed the aliens' behavior patterns, predicting where they would go next. Alara coordinated, giving instructions that balanced speed and caution. Together, they saved the village. The holographic scene dissolved, replaced by a soft glow of approval from the Velyari. The humans felt a sense of pride, but they knew this was only the beginning. The next challenge was more personal. Each human faced a scenario that tested their values. Alara saw herself in a simulation where she had to choose between saving a crew member or securing a critical resource. Her heart ached, but she made the choice that prioritized life over gain, trusting her team to support her decision. Jin faced a simulation where he had to reconcile two conflicting alien cultures, using communication and understanding rather than force. His patience and empathy guided them to a peaceful solution. Mara encountered a puzzle that required her to combine logic with creativity. She had to build a structure capable of withstanding a simulated storm, but the materials were unconventional, constantly changing form. She experimented, failed, adjusted, and finally succeeded, proving her adaptability and inventive thinking. As the simulations continued, each crew member faced situations that challenged their ethics, creativity, and courage. They were pushed to confront their fears, make sacrifices, and work together under pressure. The Velyari observed silently, their presence a constant reminder that every choice mattered. Hours passed, and the chamber seemed to respond to their actions. The light patterns shifted, forming new symbols and pathways. The humans began to notice a rhythm, a subtle guide embedded in the chamber itself. It was as if the test of spirit was alive, learning from their choices, adapting to challenge them further. Then came the trial of unity. The humans were placed on separate platforms, each suspended over a glowing abyss. The platforms began to move independently, requiring precise coordination to navigate. Any misstep could result in being trapped or forced to start over. Alara focused on communication. We must move together, trust each other, one step at a time. Using hand signals, verbal cues, and intuition, the crew synchronized their movements. When one platform shifted unexpectedly, another adjusted to compensate. They discovered the value of anticipation, empathy, and teamwork. Every success reinforced their confidence, every mistake taught them a lesson. At the midpoint, the platforms merged into a single path, leading to a vast open space. There, a massive holographic tree appeared, its branches stretching across the chamber. From the tree fell glowing seeds, each representing a potential future, a choice, a possibility. The humans realized that the final test required them to plant the seeds thoughtfully, considering consequences, balance, and harmony. They worked together, discussing options, predicting outcomes, and carefully placing each seed. Their choices shaped the holographic landscape, which responded in real time, growing and evolving with their actions. The tree pulsed with light, resonating approval as the final seed was planted. The humans had not only solved a challenge, they had demonstrated vision, foresight, and care for a greater whole. Suddenly, the chamber transformed. The walls became transparent, revealing the entire crystalline valley below. Stars twinkled in the sky, the alien structures shimmered in the distance, and the humans could see the path they had traversed, the labyrinth, the arena, the trials of courage and spirit. The Velyari leader descended, its form glowing softly. The hum it produced was now warm and welcoming. Though it did not speak, the humans could feel its message clearly. You have shown the essence of humanity, intelligence, courage, creativity, empathy, and unity. You are worthy. Ilara and her crew exhaled, a collective sense of relief and accomplishment filling the chamber. They had faced the impossible and emerged stronger, not because of sheer strength, but because of their minds, hearts, and unbreakable spirit. Yet even in triumph, they sensed a greater mystery. The Velyari did not simply want to test, they wanted to understand, to learn, to see what humans were capable of when confronted with challenges beyond comprehension. As the hum faded, the chamber shifted one final time, revealing a doorway of pure light. Beyond it lay the next stage of their journey, not a test, but an opportunity. A chance to engage with the Velyari in ways that could shape the future of humanity in the galaxy. Ilara looked at her team. "We've proven ourselves," she said softly. "Now it's time to see what comes next. Humanity doesn't just survive, we thrive, and we will continue to rise no matter the challenge." The crew stepped forward one by one, leaving the chamber behind. Each step was confident, measured, and filled with purpose. They had passed the test of spirit. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and moral dilemmas, and had emerged united, resilient, and stronger than ever. As they passed through the doorway, the light enveloped them completely, filling their minds with clarity, insight, and understanding. For the first time, they truly felt the connection between themselves, their species, and the vast possibilities of the universe. The Velyari watched, their eyes reflecting admiration. Humanity had not only survived, they had transcended expectation. They had proven that even in the face of alien rituals, impossible puzzles, and unknown threats, humans possessed an indomitable spirit that could not be ignored. Outside, the crystalline valley awaited, vast and unexplored. Beyond it, the stars called to them, offering new challenges, new discoveries, and new opportunities to show what humans could achieve. Alara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their journey. "This is just the beginning," she said. "The galaxy is waiting. And humanity is ready." The Velyari leader extended a gesture of respect, a silent acknowledgement of their achievements. For the first time, the humans understood that the ritual had not been about domination or judgment, it had been about recognition. Recognition of the human capacity for creativity, courage, and unity. As they stepped into the open valley, the humans felt a sense of pride unlike anything they had ever known. They were explorers, problem solvers, and survivors. They were representatives of a species capable of facing the unknown and rising above it. And in that moment, humanity shone brighter than any star in the sky. The humans stepped into the open valley, the light of the Velyari chamber fading behind them. The crystalline structures stretched endlessly, reflecting the glow of the binary stars above. The Velyari leader hovered nearby, observing, its presence calm and yet undeniably powerful. Alara and her crew felt no fear now, only a sense of purpose. "This is it," Alara whispered. "We've passed the tests. Now we must understand why we were chosen." The leader extended a luminous arm, motioning toward a platform that had appeared in the center of the valley. It was large, circular, and inscribed with the same intricate symbols that had appeared during the ritual. As the humans stepped onto it, a projection enveloped them, a holographic map of the galaxy, with countless systems, planets, and points of interest marked in vivid colors. The Velyari communicated, not in words, but as images and feelings directly into the humans' minds. They shared visions of civilizations they had observed, challenges they had seen, and dangers that lurked in the galaxy. It was clear, the Velyari had been searching for a species capable of understanding, adapting, and rising above impossibility. Alara's mind raced as she absorbed the visions. "They've been watching us, studying humanity," she said. "Not to harm us, but to see if we are ready for something bigger." Jin stepped forward, awe in his eyes. "They want allies. They want partners who can face the unknown." The humans realized that the ritual had been more than a test, it was an invitation. The Velyari sought not subjects, but equals. Humans had proven themselves through courage, intelligence, unity, and creativity. They were ready to be recognized as a species capable of contributing to the wider galaxy. The next challenge appeared in the form of a simulation, a scenario showing a distant star system in crisis. A massive celestial storm threatened to destroy planets, and the Velyari offered a choice: intervene and save the system, or observe and learn. It was a test of initiative, compassion, and judgment. Alara looked at her crew. "We don't hesitate, we act. Humanity doesn't stand by when help is needed." Working together, they devised a plan. Mara calculated the energy flows of the storm, determining safe pathways to deploy stabilization devices. Jin communicated with the simulation civilizations, guiding them to safety while maintaining balance across the system. Alara coordinated, ensuring every move minimized risk and maximized impact. The simulation responded instantly to their choices. Planets stabilized, civilizations were saved, and the storm's energy dissipated. The Velyari watched, their hums resonating in approval. Humanity had shown not just cleverness or courage, but wisdom and responsibility. For the first time, the humans felt the depth of the Velyari's respect. These beings had tested them through intellect, courage, spirit, and now, through ethical action. Each trial had revealed a layer of human potential, culminating in a profound realization. Humans were capable of greatness beyond simple survival. The valley transformed again. Massive crystalline arches formed, creating corridors of light leading to the final stage, a chamber where humans would interact directly with the Velyari in a collaborative task. Here, intellect, empathy, and creativity would converge. Inside the chamber, a vast energy field stretched across the floor. Within it floated fragmented pieces of alien technology, some clearly ancient, others advanced beyond human comprehension. The task was simple to state but complex in execution. The humans had to assemble the fragments into a functional device capable of communicating across vast distances. Mara's eyes lit up. "Finally, something we can do," she said, moving quickly to examine the pieces. Jin studied the fragments, recognizing patterns and functions. "They're linked," he said. "We need to understand the system, not just the parts." Alara observed their approach. "Remember, it's not just about speed. It's about understanding, teamwork, and problem-solving. We've done this before." Hours passed as they worked. They combined human ingenuity with careful observation of the Velyari, learning their techniques and understanding their logic. The fragments responded to careful alignment and synchronization, glowing as energy flowed through them. The device began to take shape. Finally, the last piece clicked into place. The device activated, projecting a holographic network spanning multiple star systems. It was a tool for communication, knowledge sharing, and collaborative problem-solving across the galaxy. The Velyari's approval radiated through the chamber, warm and resonant. Alara stepped back, letting her crew take in their achievement. "We did it. We've created something meaningful together with them." The Velyari leader extended its arms in a gesture of respect, and the humans felt a wave of recognition. They were no longer mere visitors. They were equals, partners in a galaxy full of mysteries and challenges. Humanity had proven its worth, but the lesson was clear. This was not the end of trials, but the beginning of a partnership. The Velyari had seen what humans could do when pushed to the limits, and now they invited humans to rise to even greater heights. The crew felt a sense of pride unlike any they had known. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and moral dilemmas. They had conquered the labyrinth, the arena, the test of spirit, and finally the collaborative task. Each challenge had shown their strengths, but it was their unity and determination that had carried them through. Alara looked at her team, her heart full of admiration. "This is what makes us human," she said. "Courage, creativity, compassion, and the drive to rise above challenges. We've shown the galaxy what we can do, and will continue to do it." The Velyari leader communicated one final message. "Humanity is ready. The galaxy awaits your light." Outside, the crystalline valley sparkled under the stars, a testament to the journey the humans had completed. The Velyari had tested them, challenged them, and ultimately recognized their potential. Humanity had triumphed, not through force or dominance, but through intelligence, courage, unity, and spirit. As the humans prepared to return to their vessel, a sense of anticipation filled them. New worlds awaited exploration, new civilizations needed allies, and new mysteries beckoned. They were no longer ordinary explorers. They were ambassadors of humanity, capable of shaping the future of the galaxy. Alara took a deep breath, feeling the weight and the wonder of the moment. "We've done more than survive. We've risen, and we will continue to rise together as humans." The crew stepped onto their vessel, the Odyssey, and launched into the stars. Behind them, the crystalline valley shimmered, a silent guardian of their achievement, and the Velyari watched with approval. Humanity had faced the impossible and emerged victorious, proving that even in the vast unknown, the spirit of humans could shine brighter than any star. The galaxy stretched before them, full of challenges, wonders, and opportunities. Humanity had been tested, and humanity had risen. And this was only the beginning.